This conference will now be recorded.
At 7 o'clock, I'd like to call the Greensburg Mayor Council meeting to order. Would everyone please rise for the pledge and invitation? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our dear kind Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight, asking you for your guidance and helping us to make the right decisions for the town of Boonesborough and the townspeople. Lord, we pray for those who are suffering due to earthquakes and other things that are going on. Lord, please keep us safe. And Lord, we pray that one of these days we will have peace throughout the world. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Looks like all the council here tonight. Chief is away hunting. I think Amy's online. Is she with us?
No.
No? Okay. She must be still under the weather a little bit. Review and approval of the regular meeting for January 9th, along with the executive meeting, along with the workshop meeting in January 30th. Has everybody had a chance to review all three minutes? Do I have a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion to accept it with a small correction I gave Jim.
Okay, and that was.
Grammar.
It was requested instead of
Yeah.
requested.
It was taking an ED off a word.
Oh, okay.
Very minor.
We have a motion to accept with one minor correction. Do I have a second? Second. A motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. Abstained. Motion carries. Treasurer's report.
Okay, I did send y'all a revised one late this afternoon, I apologize. There's just one change on the sewer fund, so the rest of them, if you've already reviewed them, haven't changed. We'll start with the general fund. We have a balance right now in our general fund of $2,290,483.08. Water fund, we have a current balance of $882,847.58. And the sewer fund that was corrected has a balance of $218,145.90. If we go to the CD page, at the top of the page, you'll see that we did redeem now those two at Fulton Bank. We got those both cashed in. We didn't have any penalties to pay, and we're now going to be earning 4.1%. And I asked Marie just to divide the amount up, just total and divide as close as she could, and it came out almost to the penny. So we have two CDs there, $122,452.84 each. The best they wanted to do for me was 6 months, and I said that's fine. I said we'll just readdress it when that comes around. Still have a CD for the Schaefer Park at Middletown Valley Bank for $51,964.91. And the general fund has a total of CDs for $1,900,632.51, giving the town a total of $2,197,449.10. Other funds, we have our restricted funds with a balance of $2,175,648.51. Of course, you know, there's $1 million from the county and $1 million from the state, which are there for the reservoir replacement. And our American Rescue funds are still in holding at $3,143,768.51. Water fund has a user fee money market at Middletown Valley Bank for $174,658.63. And the sewer fund has a user fees money market at Middletown Valley Bank for $85,040.38. And I do believe that should be everything. everything.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions of Tony? Hearing that, do I have a motion to accept treasurer's report?
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing that, all in favor say aye. Opposed, the same. Abstaining, motion carries. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We have an appreciation award tonight. Mr. Brinkley, would you like to join me up front? I'll never forget about 6 years ago, first time I met you was in Neil Parrott's office. I was talking to you about helping us out with their debt payment to MDE with the reservoir, not the reservoir, the wastewater treatment plant. And this gentleman told us not to worry about it, that it would not pass until probably 12:59:59. And I was waiting for Bill Wobble all evening long, at about 11:30, I crawled in bed and said, "Did you hear something?" I said, "No." I said, "We must not have got it." I said, "Didn't hear anything." Very next morning, about 7 o'clock, I got a text message from Bill Wobble, said, "David was right, 11:59."
Amazing what happens in the last second.
Everyone wants to go home.
For, shows you a little appreciation of your dedication and support for the town of Boonsboro, presented to Honorable David R. Brinkley, Secretary of Budget and Management. Thank you very much for everything you have done for us, and we're going to miss you.
Thank you, thank you. This is a magnificent plaque too, so I have to give you all high praise for it.
Council, you want to join in?
Thank you, we appreciate it.
I love Western Maryland, born and raised here, born in Frederick, and raised in Newmarket. I live in Mount Airy now, but every chance I get, I love to come out this way. Like I said, I did spend a lot of money here. Dan's down the road, and there was a pastry shop. I was looking to see if it was still there. God knows that got me every morning. And so I enjoy coming out here, and to this day, I like to come out and ride my bike, do the Western Maryland Rail Trail. I love rail trails. There aren't many cars, so I'm scared of cars at this stage of my life. They win. I try to teach my kids the 3 rules of life. Doesn't matter what Annapolis or Washington does. Money goes where it's welcome. Capital goes where it's welcome. You know, you might have the green light, but with the dump truck going through the red light, the laws of physics means he wins the collision. And then much later in life, gravity always wins. Mayor, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And you have a magnificent town. Do everything you can, you know, to take care of it, to keep it for future generations. Because when I go through here, I just love seeing stone buildings, and I love seeing the way that everybody's taking care of things. Takes care
So
of
are you
our
happily,
heritage.
are you happily retired, or do you have other?
I'm starting a different venture where I'm going to now make some money for about 10 years. I'm 63, so I've got a lot of things I want to do. I'm getting my pilot's license. It's
All right.
something I want to do. I fly over here every now and then. And had my securities license in the past. I just got that renewed, so I'm back in the financial services business. Taking care of people's retirement plans and some other issues. And we're going to do some travel. We're Puerto Rico this month, and hopefully Greece in October. So
Enjoy.
and I was in Scotland in October to see my daughter. She lives over there.
Oh,
It's great. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate everything you've done for us.
Take care. Thank you. And thank you for the water.
You're very welcome.
And, one of those candy kids.
I got a token. He's known me a long time, so unfortunately knows I didn't try that.
Okay, other guests, we have Tova Ferguson. He's here to talk about the Appalachian Trail Community Certification Ceremony.
Hello, everybody.
So,
There's good news.
We filed our application and Boonesboro will become the 52nd community to be designated as an Appalachian Trail community.
Sweet.
And we're the first in Maryland.
And we were the first in Maryland, yes. So this year being a first of lots of things in Maryland, we look forward to adding this to the list that the state's working on for their Maryland mosaic. So in addition to the first monument in Washington County for George. So just want to bring you up to speed. If you go through this, it's going to give you an explanation of some of
You're
the
welcome
things
to
that
stay
we do.
here. If you
Oh.
like.
Yeah.
That way, we pick up when the recording too.
Name and address.
So I put together some information about some of the questions and responses that we made to the Appalachian Trail Conservancy. And talked about the benefits of being a part of a trail town. Of course, our economic benefits that we're excited for. This allows us the opportunity to go after some grants that we might not have the opportunity to do. One of the things that I've looked at is the trail fosters economic prosperity. And we're talking about creating another trail, a cultural trail, which will link the state park at South Mountain to the town of Boonesboro. So we did apply for a grant and received money to start a feasibility study. It seems to be in line with what Washington County would like to do with extending parks. Out of the parks in the county, 21713 as the most popular parks, being Devil's Backbone being the first, and then the Agricultural Center being the third. So, or the fact that look forward to building the third, linking the state park to town. Now, that's not contingent on this plan, it's just a benefit. And then we'll have partners in the Park Service working with us. So our community, we have to do two things. One was to form a community advisory board, and then to pick either programming, educational programming, or environmental. So we picked an event, and the event that we chose to do was National Trail Days. This is the largest celebration of American trails in the United States. We decided to participate with National Trail Days because it gives us a format to already link into. We don't have to recreate the wheel here, and we can celebrate our trails in our community. So when we were told that we received the designation, we have to have a ceremony, a dedication ceremony. So we decided to have it the same day. As you know, the Economic Development Commission has resumed a lot of projects, and decided not to add one more to our list. So the first part of the morning will be designated to a trail cleanup. It'll be a project hosted by the Potomac Appalachian Trail Committee. And then we'll serve them lunch at noon, and at 1 o'clock, we will have our dedication ceremony. And then afterward, we'll crank it up and have some fun with music and, I'm not quite sure. Food trucks will be there. We will be hosting the event at South Mountain Park. At some point, we talked about bringing it into town, but that's not going to happen because that's the last Saturday of the Boonesboro Carnival. But that's okay. So, most important thing is for you to save the date, like all of you to attend the dedication ceremony. The Appalachian Trail Conservancy does not mess around. They are going to be a great asset for us. They're going to elevate us to another level. You can see this is their webpage. We will have a presence as an AT community. And they're designated by state. If you go to Maryland, we're not on the list yet, but that's soon to change. So we're at least familiar with Harper's Ferry. So there's photographs of the town, there's a brief description of the town, and then visit local businesses. Our businesses will be able to have their shops linked to the site, making it easier for the visitor to get the lay of the land before they come here. Approximately 4,000 people start the trail in March, and only 25% of them finish the trail. But this is the most popular trail, part of the trail in the state of Maryland. And it goes through, Washington County, including High Rock, Glenmore, Annapolis Rock, Mason-Dixon Line, South Mountain State Park, Gatlin, and Beavers and Cliffs. So we have a fair amount of the trail within our community, and it's, as David said, it's our responsibility to take care of the natural assets that we have here. And we'll be working with the Penticton Trust, Land Trust. They're very involved in protecting the watershed around the trail. So, a lot going on. Does anybody have any specific questions?
I have one question. Does this include giving people rides that like the trail on and off? I know somebody came and talked to us about.
Well,
That was a couple of years ago, and that was part of, like, you know.
They
being
can do some
volunteers
formal
that-
arrangements. We have a resident across the street that just informally, people know to contact her.
Gotcha.
There's a whole networking system online, and people work these.
I just say, I know I've given
themselves,
people rides, you know what I mean, up and down before. I wasn't sure if that was had a formal,
Not.
is that a requirement of doing this or no?
No, they call it trail magic.
Trail magic. Yeah, running up and down that mountain.
Right.
Dangerous.
Yeah, it is, and that's one thing that we're trying to help alleviate with this trail. I don't know what to say about Fox Gap, but it kind of lends itself into this plan because there will be shopping there, restaurants there, community there, and parking. That's one of the, I guess, obstacles the trail encounters now. I mean, everyone's been on board, and you've seen what happens over there on a Saturday afternoon along with Greengrass State Park. It gets a little crazy, so we need to find other places for hikers to. So,
Very good.
anything else? So we've got the date on my calendar, you want to be there? Sneak away from the carnival at 1 o'clock. Don't sign up for the Oh, right. Okay, all right.
Thank you, and thank you.
Yeah, Ms. Emma, thank you so much for everything you do and bringing us all up to speed on what's going on. Just, it's amazing what you guys are doing.
Oh, thank you, we got a good group of people.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she did.
Okay.
They seem to work very well together.
Yeah, we keep growing the volunteer base.
I didn't mean to just cut out like that. I want to hear the presentation.
Oh,
You can stay for the state of the town. Thank you, good to see you again.
See y'all again. Thanks again.
Oh, absolutely.
God knows I need it.
Oh, I know.
I was doing my best to hold her on.
Yeah. Take care. Drive safe.
Okay, it doesn't look like we have anybody here for public comments, so we'll move right on. Mayor and council correspondence. I did last Friday evening attend the ceremony for the police academy.
Oh,
It's very, very nice, well attended. I was surprised at the size of the crowd that was there. Lasted a little longer. They added a lot of new things, which was very interesting. Some of the speakers got carried away a little bit too with the microphone and stuff. But it was very nice. Tom did very well. He got an award for first aid. Evidently, he had some experience in first aid. He took the bull by the horn and ran with it and helped out. Like I said, he got a special award for that. So And he seems very happy. I ran into him today. He's working with Wes right now. Familiarize with his town. So he's doing very good and very excited. Good. Anybody else have anything? Police department report. Did everybody get a copy of the police department report?
No.
No? Okay. Well, I'll send-
It was in your email.
It was in the email.
That's all right. It won't take long. Calls of service for the month was 81, motor vehicles violation contacts was 38, no parking citation, no adult criminal arrest, adult paper service arrest 1, no adult traffic arrest, and no juvenile criminal traffic. Adult arrest was on 1/5/2023 at 2522 Townsend Road, Apartment B, for a service of a summons. Monthly activities on the 9th of January, Chief Morgan was at the meeting, mayor and council meeting. On the 19th, Chief attended the Public Safety Commission meeting, and then on the 30th, Chief attended mayor and council workshop meeting. On the summons, depending sometime on what the summons are, the county will contact us for go as a backup.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's down the road there, Tim.
That's why, yeah. They probably were called in for backup, maybe somebody that has threatened the sheriff's department before, so.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, always gotta be safe nowadays.
Understood.
Okay, moving on, new business. 2022 State of the Union update. I'm not going to go through it.
State of the
I
Union.
mean, state of the town.
Our town's better than the State of the Union.
The only, there were some additions to it, under the EDC, they added, the 8 Appalachian Trail Connector, trail. And I'm not gonna read it all or tell you about it. Natoma just went through it all and what's going on with it.
Okay.
Also, the other addition was, I lost it.
You lost your place.
It was the BEC guard.
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's what it was, Boonesborough Environmental Commission, Community Garden. This year, the BEC's created a site plan proposal for the community garden in Schaefer Park. They formed a committee and everything, and they're getting it organized, and we'll be opening, and that's the only thing that's been new and added to all the other great things.
Yeah, there's quite a few environment or EDC items.
Oh,
added.
yes.
You know, and Tony had the idea of letting the commissions participate, so we reached out to them. We heard back from the EDC and the Environmental Commission. The other commissions didn't respond for various reasons. I mean, the NBC was obviously,
They're already involved.
they were well covered there. So I gotta say, you know, just on a side note, Kim published the state of the town on on Facebook. It didn't really seem like it got much traffic. It's really disappointing. I guess there's not much we can do about that.
It's just, yeah, I mean,
It's-
it's one of
it's-
those things where. if it's
Sometimes
not broke,
things go crazy and other times,
If things are running well, then you're not gonna hear it. It's just
Yeah.
unfortunate, but
if they have some, people have something to complain about.
Sometimes no news is good.
Yeah.
The fact that we're heavily exposed to good things.
Yes,
Because we're complaining, so when things are going well,
We'll have it.
they're home, you know, tucked away and stuff, so.
I wish that people would take notice, and then, you know, maybe when things aren't going as well as they should be, then they can remember, you know.
They won't.
They will.
You only hear when it's not well.
Maybe a word of-
Always remember that, the ones that are upset call, you don't hear from the rest. 95% of the population who are.
Yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily cringe, but
As long as they have voice.
I do wonder what's going on.
What's going on?
Yeah.
it's changed.
Okay, moving on. Ace Hardware site plan. You gonna do that?
Yes, Kim and I can
Yeah.
start it. It's, so the planning commission recently approved it, actually, Eric. I have some very few notes.
Yeah, Riley was planning on coming, but her little girl was sick,
Oh,
so she had to take her to the hospital and wasn't
Oh,
sure.
I know.
Just, they just wanted to double check to make sure everything was okay.
One of those,
She had a high fever.
She had high fever and,
what's that one thing that's going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't mention anything about that.
Well, that's-
no. I'm sure she just got something from the other kids, so,
probably.
She needs to get her immune system built up.
yes.
So the planning commission recently approved this.
Right, planning commission met on the 24th of January, and they did approve it. You come forward here tonight. Trevor from FSA was there. There were a couple of additional questions, comments, and everything that could take care of before each line notice. So it's coming here tonight for approval.
Was there any concerns the planning commission had anything? I was just curious about, is there room for tractor and trailers?
The only thing that they brought up that night that I also thought about was there enough room for fire trucks to get in around there? And we were told that the fire company did review the plan and approve it. That was in it,
So fire trucks can get in around there. Tractor trailers.
I mean, I thought it was interesting the way they have a line of RV buildings, RV storage parallel to the hardware store. And it looked like that would be interesting to get something back in there and turn around a little bit.
Well, that's what I was worried about, like
Apparently,
deliveries and parking. It didn't look like,
yeah, it looked like it was.
I mean, I would have preferred a little less storage and a little more parking in the delivery area, but I'm sure he's
You know, they
doing
wanna
money
cram
for
it all in.
dollars, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you have, well, is there a fence around the storage unit then,
I'm understanding that
separate?
fence, because Russell only sold 5 acres.
Right, right.
So he's retaining the additional acreage.
I just wasn't sure if they'd have a fence, you know, between the storage and the, I would think it would be practical.
So all the parking for the hardware is gonna be
It's
out
out
front.
front, yeah. I mean, it's not a lot of parking, and
Yeah.
especially put employees, I just,
It's not, there was a question about if a storage owner was there, loading their pickup truck, unloading their truck, is there enough room for someone else to get around? And that was addressed, and apparently so. It's not really a parking spot, but the idea is pull up, do your business and. load
Yeah.
around.
Well, keep in mind, the store is only will be roughly a quarter an acre, a little over a quarter an acre. Yeah,
Yeah, store.
yeah, the store is.
that'll fill up.
Parking lot, I think, well,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
So
I
when
know
you,
you go,
so when you
that's
come
down.
in,
You know what I mean?
lot, what's this up in here? You have any idea what that is?
It's probably on one of the plans that's,
What's that?
that is a,
Yeah, but it's figuring the tractor trailers. You know what I mean, you get it delivered. I'm just going from the experience.
Right, when you had
They
a,
had the ace out at Thompson, you know. You never seem to have enough space. And
It's not easy.
So
it
there's
doesn't
gonna
take more
be
manpower than you think.
one way in, one way out. And it's right across from the church.
No.
No, it's from the bank.
Oh, that's,
That's,
is that,
That's Middletown Valley.
is that, okay, that's the bank, okay,
and the other one, yeah.
okay.
The churches.
So that's Tri-County concept.
Tri-County pump, that's the one I was thinking about, okay. Yeah, I mean,
He did mention the store, as far as stocking the store, that they're required to stock certain items, but then they have the
Then you have
option
flexibility, yeah.
of some things local to the area that they
Yes,
can put
yes.
there. So that'd be nice. It's nice to have it there.
I mean, it's been long overdue, so I'm glad. I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't have any opposition to what they're doing, I just have a couple of questions.
But do I have any other discussion on Not to have a motion to accept the Ace Hardware site plan.
I'll make the motion since I'm the liaison to the commission.
And also, I think,
We have a motion and a second. Any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, the same, abstain, motion carries. BMUC recommendation to stop feeding fluoride.
Okay, go with that one, Paul,
Whatever you guys want to do.
or? Okay, go ahead. So you can go ahead and put your part in. If I need to say anything, I will, but I think we'll.
So, yeah, recently, over the last 3 or 4 months, we have had issues with our fluoride pumps and the tanks. You know, we have been fluoridating the water since we had loans with MDE for our water treatment plants. And it was a requirement that while we were paying debt service, that we would fluoridate the water. That is no longer, that loan has been paid off. And speaking of Pete, it's going to cost around $30,000 to get new pumps and new tanks and begin fluoridating the water again. Right now, we are not fluoridating. You know, people, residents, I mean, I think you'd be not hard pressed, but I think more often than not, people are drinking bottled water these days. They're not even drinking tap water. Keysville, you know, before bringing it to you guys, we wanted to make sure Keysville was okay with it. The council, mayor and council of Keysville have agreed that we don't need to fluoridate the water anymore. We had a meeting with MDE when we were meeting with them about the new well in Shaker Park. And it is as simple as sending them a letter saying that, you know, both councils have agreed to stop fluoridating the water. You know, this is your notification. So that's why we're putting it on the agenda to discuss tonight. The BMUC reviewed and is also recommending that we stop feeding fluoride into the drinking water system. So,
do we have to give any kind of public notice?
yes.
So what we have to do is public hearing or just schedule it? Or-
No, it's more a matter of publishing that we no longer.
Does fluoride cause some kind of damage to the line? Is it? It's a piece, you know, just problem with the line. Is that because of fluoride or?
That's just because those pumps are as old as the water treatment plants.
22 years old.
Yeah.
And they've lived their life expectancy, and if we're gonna keep them, it's gonna cost, and we're not required to, so that's why we got the other town to make sure that we both be on the same page. And BMUC recommends that we just continue the treatment too.
So do we want to like publish to the public for safety value, ask for input, or we want to just notify them?
We're
Doing
gonna
it?
notify them and know how we're doing.
Well, actually, did we say it's been years since we've done it?
It's been a couple of years at least.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the trickier question. So one after another, our fluoride pumps have been shutting down. It was about 2 or 3 months ago, the last one shut down. So, yeah, I mean, it's slowly been happening.
Okay.
Will it be a requirement if we try to get a future line with MDD for a project? If we start to do it again, or they'd like cotton that way for this practice? It was a big thing, it's not
The latter.
the latter.
Did I hear y'all say that it wasn't a requirement anyway?
Yes.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
I thought.
Keysville was from mayor and council already
And
voted.
we were actually doing this because the dentist, doing the dentist a favor in Bensboro. I mean, this.
No,
I
the
mean,
MDD is doing
this has been going on for 20-some years, for 30 years.
It wasn't required.
I mean,
Now that we paid that.
how long has that been?
22 years ago.
See, we gotta learn through MDE, they made us do it, but we just got that paid off. So
That's what I'm
that's why I'm
saying.
asking if we would get another MDE loaner.
We don't need
do
it,
it
why
back
would-
again.
why do we
If
need
we
to
do,
put
we'll have to get the equipment loan included.
So I guess I'm thinking, you know, obviously fluoride is a positive thing and it was done for a reason. Me, having grown up on well water, all my baby teeth were rotted out by the time I was 5, okay? Because I didn't have fluoride, and I had to have fluoride treatments to sit on the couch with these fluoride cups in my mouth to save my adult teeth. And I'm going a little TMI. Yeah, there's more candy when you have
Too much
Yeah. Yeah, Super Bowl catcher. But I'm wondering what the backlash will be when we announce this to the public. I mean, is it a selling point to have fluoride in your water for people who have built houses? I mean,
Like,
who's gonna be upset? If parents gonna,
Everybody in public in town would.
like Paul said, a lot of people going to bottled water anyhow nowadays. So they're
Fluoride in your teeth.
Yeah, I think it used to be a thing in that sense, kind of, moved away from, yeah, now we have fluoride.
It wasn't the well water, it was just all the candy I was eating.
Yeah, I don't think it's your well water, right? Just that.
Probably too much.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is, choose brush your teeth out of it.
Do I have a motion to accept the Utilities Commission to do away with the fluoride?
I'll make a motion that we discontinue adding fluoride to the water.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Abstained, motion
We
carries.
should always start doing it again if there's.
Sure.
Yeah, we just have to try to.
If any meeting wants to give us a big plan. Well, it's a lot more these days. One,
It's a problem.
when we bought fluoride last year, I couldn't even find it. We had to call several different distributors to.
Amazon doesn't have like fluoride.
Sodium fluoride was really hard to find last year.
So Riley just texted me and said that they are home and the baby just has a virus that she reacted badly to.
Oh,
So-
good.
So she's fine.
Good.
So she on her way over then?
Okay, Schaefer Park Creek Masonry Repair and Renovation bid.
So we got 3 bids. Kim sent them out to everybody. We have one that's way out of ballpark.
Yeah.
The other 2, I called the references for. Both of them get very good reviews from the references. And as far as recommendations go, Lavaca Construction does have a specialty in masonry, but they are a general contractor. They do a little bit of everything. Poor Boys is very specifically, well, for one, they were founded in Keedysville, originated in Keedysville, and are very accustomed to the type of stonework, the historical type of stonework we have down at the park. So they do restoration. This is the only type of work they do. You know, they don't also do, Nicoloc, patios, in other words. So, I guess it's obviously it's the council's decision. I think it would be staff's recommendation that we would probably go with the people that are very specialized in this area to complete, a restoration of what was essentially a
It's a
historic
historic, yeah.
to the town, and so the cost difference isn't what you would think. It's not the 36,000. The town, we have a grant for 202,500. That's the maximum amount. But the town is on the hook for 10% of the project cost. So the difference between going with Lavaca or going with Poor Boys is actually around 22,000. It's not the 36,000 you would think. It's a 202 max, right? But
Right.
the
It's a 220, so we still wouldn't have, we'd have to pay what's over the.
right, we have to pay 10% of the project.
Right.
So if we went with Lavaca, we would, I think, pay 21,000 of the total cost. If we went with Poor Boys, we would pay the difference between 2025 and 2445, which I think is 42,000. So the difference between going one or the other is about $20,000, $21,000. So, you know, and I would just say that, you know, researching, looking at some of the work that Poor Boys has done, I would recommend going with them. So
Their work is nice. That's all they do, is STEM work. Levico is a construction company and do STEM work too, but they do other kind of construction. Poor Boys, that's all they do is just masonry work. And some of the places that they've sent us that they've done, I mean, if you could buy the barns and other fences and water areas, STEM work is unbelievable, very nice.
It's important to the character of the
Yes, keep it,
region.
yeah.
Northside Bridge should be part. So is this considered infrastructure or beautification? This is.
historical preservation. I mean, you know, those stream banks and those bridges were put in by the Civilian Conservation Corps in the late 1930s. So, you know, it's unique to this, it's unique to this area, it's unique to this region. Vaca's out of Mount Airy.
And I'm looking at theirs and I don't see where they have any wording of their warranty. And the other one did say 3
Yes,
years.
That's good, yeah, thank you, Terry, that's a good one. They don't offer a warranty. And,
Yeah, I don't like that at all.
Especially for that kind of work.
Poor Boys does.
Yeah.
So how much did we budget? You know, so that's my next question.
We
So have to
budgeted-
come up with some extra money, right?
Yeah, we budgeted a total job cost of $225,000.
Right, but now choose the grant, right?
Correct.
So we budgeted 23, right?
Right.
And we would then need the difference.
Right, so we, like I said, we would need around another
23 and the 240.
we would need around another 20,000.
And Lavaca doesn't say that they would have it done by a certain date, and the other one said by May 31st. Which if we choose them, we might want to mention about what happens.
Oh, yeah, they would have to not be there during the
Yeah.
carnival.
Well, Carnival doesn't start until last week of May.
Right, but that includes May 31st.
Yeah, so they have to be out, and they
know.
Okay.
everybody knows they have to be out of there, including Lavaca. They know they have to be done by the end of May. And that's a good point too, Terry, that this project is occurring in quote unquote, local waterway. You know, there's a sensitive permit involved. It needs to be done right the first time. There's not a lot of wiggle room here. So that's an important
So
consideration also.
where are we coming up with the extra 20,000?
I'm looking.
Okay.
I'm looking. Well, and the other thing I'm gonna say too is that I'm more leaning towards the Poor Boys based on conversation, based on their bids and with the warranty.
Right.
And the Poor Boys are more specialized. But I think we're gonna be fine with the extra in interest revenues that we're gonna be getting this year. I mean, we're way over it.
Yeah, I mean, I know our property taxes came in like, what, 11,000?
The property taxes.
10,000, a little, almost 11,000 more than what we
Yeah.
budgeted, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as what, you know, we made.
But we're
We haven't
gonna,
spent that right, and we do have interest income.
right, we're gonna get way over that in interest this year, which is a good thing.
That's how much is left in contingency.
Well, let me ask a stupid question if I may. So we have all of our rescue plan money earning some good interest.
Yes.
There is no requirement that the interest earned be spent on projects that fall under that plan.
Oh, yes.
That
no,
money-
Yeah,
that's-
that money stays where it is.
Okay,
I'm talking about-
so to that end,
That money has to be, can only be used for ARPA
okay,
approved. Yes.
let me clarify that. So to that end, this is a waterway that you're talking about.
We haven't used that.
That ARP
Well, we
money
use
is now
some.
opened up for transportation. If we can spend that a certain way, right?
I wouldn't be surprised if you're right, that it
I was wondering about
it could be applied.
if the interest has to be used.
The interest we earn has to be used, it's just like we got a larger allocation of that ARPA.
Okay, that's.
It still needs to be used for only ARPA eligible
Okay.
expenses and projects.
And then point number 2 was the ARP money's now been opened up to transportation as an allowable use. And if this is classified as a waterway, somebody could spin that to say that's transportation.
Yep, it's stormwater, technically it's stormwater.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
But there are pedestrian walkways, pedestrian traffic is part of that.
Well, looking at it, there's 35,000 in contingency we haven't used yet.
so between that.
And then there was $10,000 like additional revenue billed for property taxes above what we
Budgeted.
budgeted. So that's 45,000 right there. So that would cover the 20 couple of difference that we,
and I would throw
if
this
we
out
want to
there.
go with the more specialized bit.
Yeah.
I would throw this out there to be an agreement with everyone. I'd like to keep the money right here in Washington County instead of sending it over around.
Yeah.
Well, he's got.
Well,
Chamber.
Technically, I
We don't have any-
changed
we don't have
for
anybody in
this
Washington
here.
County.
But they originated in
They-
Keys.
They started out in Keys and they moved to Chambersburg.
But we can.
Okay, do I have a motion to accept Poor Boys bid?
I'll make the motion, we accept Poor Boys as our bid.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second, 244,500. Do we have any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Opposed, the same, abstain, motion carries.
I would just make sure when you sign that, you stress how important the thing out there. They have to state that time commitment. They
All
can't.
here.
I'm sorry, I say, when you sign that, you just better stress how important that time commitment is. They have to get out of there. They can't. I mean,
Do we want to make a motion to go ahead and amend the budget to move
Right.
money from the contingency?
yeah, that's what I was
to
gonna
the
say next to
capital?
Kim after I
Okay. Agreement.
reiterate this, because I don't
So
want
we
me,
don't like reuse it again when we.
I know there's all these project runs that we get into, and they might run into an issue too. They may have to delay starting if they don't have the materials, that's all. It's just,
We will manage that.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, and then the other thing I was gonna say is to Kim that we'll make a motion that we use the overrun out of our contingency fund right now.
Mhm.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to use our overflow contingency money. Pay the difference. Do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, same, motion carries.
Now, I'm sorry, I won't have to move that or anything,
Well,
correct?
that's what I was wondering.
I'll just
Do
be
you
able to
want us
pay.
Like redo the budget, so we move it, or since it's kind of $20,000, it's sort of significant.
I
or
just
we
wanted-
us to keep
Make sure we
track?
tag.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That's all we need to do.
Yeah, I always put a lot of information
It's
in
earmarked
when
for
I,
the- yeah.
So we just,
Okay.
we only got like 15,000
Right.
left in there for the rest of the year.
Okay. Bid for Keysville Water Board Advisory, I'd like to appoint Councilmember Eric Kitchen as one of our alternates. Right now, we only have one alternate, which is Stu Mullendorf. And I'd like to appoint Eric as a second alternate.
And I'll just add to that, that the Boonesboro Keysville Water Advisory Board did agree with that nomination. So, and it's more for those individuals than the VMUC necessarily, but I know Eric would not have any problem with the VMUC being approved. So I'll make a motion that we do add Eric to the Boonesboro Keysville Water Advisory Board as an alternate.
Do I have a second?
Does Mr. Kitchen accept this nomination?
He did.
Yes,
We held him down and
I'll attend the meetings anyway, whether I'm there in committee capacity or not.
Then in that case, I'd be honored to second that.
We have a motion and a second. Do we have any more discussion? Hearing that, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
thanks, Eric.
We have an
Should
abstention.
I abstain? Yes, I guess I should.
One abstention. Does anybody else have anything to bring forward to council tonight? Hearing none, commission reports, Park Board, Rick?
Okay, we held our meeting January 25th. Unfinished business with the tree board update. A grant of $20,000 from the Chesapeake Bay Trust will be used to plant trees in public areas around Main Street, Sycamore Garden, et cetera. The planting will be done in the fall. They also did the tree city application. It was submitted in December. The EDC is awaiting the completion and approval of their beautification plan for the town. Several meetings will take place with the tree board and the GIS contractor to finalize the approved design, development, and rollout of the tree inventory database. Then they went to the Old Time Christmas. The event was a success with tiny goodie bags given to the children. Vice donated the cookies and cocoa mix, and Crane Heights donated the apples. Under new business, the movie dates have been scheduled June 17th, July 15th, August 19th, and September 16th. Movie times will be decided at a later date, and they're going to start 15 minutes after sunset. They were talking about putting some type of lock box down at the, somewhere in the park where they can, if they have to get to the electrical panel to, put the PA system or whatever. That was brought up in the child derby. That will happen this year. Let's see, the next meeting is on the 22nd here at 7 o'clock.
Whatever happened with the PA thing? Wasn't the guy supposed to come in January or something?
I don't know.
That just,
Then they were talking about a key to the lockbox electrical panel down there. Instead of trying to call everybody to
Get it unlocked.
get it unlocked.
the PA system was supposed to get looked at in January.
We'll have to check with Greg.
I say I can answer.
Think we can get fish?
Yes.
Yes, I got an email just last week
Fish lady.
saying, yes, I'm the fish lady, cuckoo, cuckoo.
That was the one.
That was one I was just gonna say, that Rich called her a couple days before he passed away.
Yeah.
Make sure.
Yeah, he called me to ask me about the fish. I'm like, Rich.
He said he's good. He said that he was gonna keep working.
Yeah,
And Chris told me the other night that looks like George Rouse gonna
Take over.
take over. He helped Rich the last couple of years.
He used to be one of them. that-
Yeah.
that was-
He's-
yeah.
He's always been steady.
They just don't believe anything George tells.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
the storyteller, yeah.
Or what he would say, fish store.
fish.
Anybody else have any questions of Ricky? Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Boonesboro Municipal Utilities, Tony?
You know, we did meet last month, and when I was getting ready to come tonight, I just realized that I didn't have the minutes, and I don't take notes on the agenda page. And rather than try to screw that up and tell you things that didn't happen, I'll do it at the workshop. I think what happened is with the server, I don't think I got the email from Yvette, because she's so good about putting our minutes out. That's the only thing that I didn't get. Some of the people from the Boonesboro Water Board didn't get emails from her.
Really?
Other people did. I mean, it's not.
See, what she did was she sent out big group emails. And what happens is when like one email is denied,
It blows up.
nobody gets anything.
Okay.
So we suggested like mailing them in smaller groups.
Okay.
you know?
I mean, that, you shouldn't have to do all that.
Right, but,
The receiving and spam and.
but like she could email you
Directly.
you know?
So rather than give you a half correct report, I'll just give it at the workshop.
I do have one question, because we were putting out for bid on things like a treatment thing, specifically February 6th. Did we not do bids? Did we change that date?
No, we
We put it out, right?
we did. We got bids, actually, we got bids back today. I was gonna mention it in my.
Okay, I
We're
just
gonna
wondered
do those at-
I'll mention it real quick.
if they just were going to the DMC first, they have to
So-
do them.
And they are, they're
They
gonna go,
could get these all.
they're gonna go to the mayor council, or sorry, the NBC on Wednesday.
Okay.
We got 3 bids, from 3 firms out of Pennsylvania. They were kind of all over the board, but the lowest one was right around where we thought it was gonna be, at 2.2 million. The company, out of State College, Pennsylvania, called HRI was the low bid.
So we'll have that. Yeah, we're gonna do that.
And all 3 of them getting out of cars out up the building.
Yeah, it was funny. They didn't submit their bids. So they waited till the very last minute to bring their bids in for the bid open.
All 3 of them.
Yeah, because we were kind of like, we don't have any bids.
Wow.
And I told Brian and that, I said, well, there's 3 of them sitting out in the parking lot because they all got writings on their vehicles.
I didn't hear one yet.
They were getting out of the cars as I was coming out the building.
Honestly, I expected a lot more bids because the engineer posted like a bid on a job website. So, and at the pre-bid meeting, we had at least 5 or 6 firms there. But we got 3 bids, so, and one of them was kind of right where we thought it would be, so. And HRI is actually the same firm that did the construction for Middletown's reservoir.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah.
So we leave it to-
I'll give you more of an
Yeah,
update.
they all-
I guess to save a trip and to kind of scope out who else was.
Maybe they were afraid to bid,
They also
info
have
would
to
get
watch-
shared.
they do
maybe
get out the vehicle
undercut.
first.
Maybe that's what they did before.
As long as it did.
Anybody have any questions of them? Thank you, sir. The planning commission.
Yes. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So as already mentioned, we met on January the 24th, and there were only 2 items on the agenda. One of which was Ace Hardware, which we already talked about, bringing it here. We talked about that. And the second was Fletcher's Grove, the Dean South portion. And there were some questions remaining about the APFO, but I think the whole Chase 6 Boulevard situation, until that gets ramped up, they're just kind of waiting in the wings. It's sort of the note that I took. That was it. Next meeting is Tuesday, February 28th, right here at 7 o'clock.
Thank you, sir. Anybody have any questions of Eric? Hearing none, public safety, Mary Lee.
All right, we met January 19th. We brought to workshop the request to be able to use our funds for one of those training kits, either Scott the Bleed or the CPR. So we meet this Thursday, so we'll talk about this
Spend that money.
one. They want to get, and we'll probably put in a budget request then to, for a budget for next year, since we didn't get a budget since it just got reactivated. Town manager Paul and the mayor sent us, I guess they were in contact with State Highway about the Opticon traffic things. It's a little lengthy process, but Paul forwarded that information to the chairman and she forwarded it to the commission. So we'll discuss that Thursday, and hopefully the fire company rep and ambulance company rep, they can help us get the documents needed to start that process along. And the mayor told us the sidewalk safety things is supposed to happen this spring, and that's always been on the list for the committee, so we meet on Thursday.
Thank you, Mary Lee. Anybody have any questions of Mary Lee? Hearing none, EDC.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The EDC has actually Not met since my last report. However, the last meeting was January 4th. The next meeting is going to be February 22nd. However, in the interim, we have had a EDC networking breakfast, which was held on the 19th. Very well attended. That was very
Yes, it was.
successful. Very successful. The
He's
guest
on
speaker,
ground, we'll have to go in the ballroom.
right. The guest speaker, and they got 40 RSVPs for it. Largely probably because it's advertised, the guest speaker was going to be from Appalachian Trail Conservancy, and she did come out and speak. And that was very nice. Our next breakfast is going to be March 16th. And the speaker for that was going to be Becky Wright, the Main Street manager from Middletown. So you all want to come and attend that, see what she's going to have to say. Of course, Natoma gave you all an update on the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, and that moved very, very quickly. I'm very pleased to hear that. In town tomorrow, we do have a soft opening of Giovanni's right here in town. It's going to be at noon. There's going to be a ribbon cutting. I'll be attending for the mayor. Anyone else who'd like to attend, you're more than welcome. It'll be a brief ceremony, and the official opening is Wednesday. So I don't know if you can get pizza tomorrow or not, but Wednesday for sure. And that's it, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions? Brad? Hearing none. Fireman, Terry?
The VEC had applied for the Nora Roberts grant for the fencing for the community garden, which they did end up getting that money. There are some compost bins that they are going to be selling. They're going to keep 2, I think, for the garden. They're going to sell the rest. Keedysville is interested in buying our compost bin. They are looking for, let's see, the farmer's market manager will not be able to make it to the market until 5:30. So they are looking for someone to help out there. They are going to ask Greg, if they haven't already, about painting numbers on the vendor spots. She said that'll be a huge time saver for the vendors to set up. Our chairperson, Cassandra, she gave a really nice annual report. It was very long. It's kind of like listening to the mayor do our accounts stuff.
Is that
That long?
Yeah. The gentleman on our commission who is in charge of energy, he said that as of 1/1/2023, there's an EV tax credit. It got changed. If you would buy an electric car, a sedan, price below 60,000, or an electric SUV or truck price below 80,000, you're eligible for a tax credit of $7,500. There's a spring recycling and swap event in May, and they're looking into an opportunity to institute a compost drop-off program. So we meet again tomorrow night.
Kathy Vesley did email me this afternoon that they discovered more compost bins.
Oh, really?
So we have 24
Oh,
altogether.
my golly.
So they would like to sell 10 of those to
Right.
Keedysville.
Okay.
So she just asked that I bring it to you guys, and
That's fine.
I didn't think that there was any.
Nope.
So you can let them know.
Okay.
I'll email her tomorrow and you can.
Yeah.
So she said, like Terry said, $20 a piece for them, and they want them, so.
That's fine.
Yep. Get them out of our way.
Yes.
I'm sure they're in the way,
They have to be.
but they will come in handy once that garden gets up and going.
Yes,
Yeah.
They do need to hang on to some.
Okay. Anybody have any questions of Terry?
Well, a quick comment. I don't know if you all got the pictures I sent out.
Yeah, that is a concern.
I just want to say that
They happened in here too.
I was there I was illegally present at their dog park with their locks broken. So I took my Boonesboro dog to Motown. I
You gotta pay for those poops.
So, but I mean, their community garden is back, tucked away and it's backed by the water treatment plant and everything, but it really looked kind of crappy. I'm just gonna say this, I mean, chicken wire kind of falling down, it's just so much crap. I'm just only putting that out because I saw it and I'm like, I don't want ours to become like that, because ours is in a very visible place at the park and I want it nice, so, we learned from Middletown, that people have left plastic trapped there all winter, and so that's when we're gonna set that out. Yeah.
I'll show them that picture.
I would say there's one in Hagerstown that used to be like that, but now that's even been removed. Tim's supposed to get out because it got.
They does have one. though.
Yeah, they still have,
Because they even have a tree that like kids can go by and pick an apple off the tree and walk.
Yeah, they allow that there was enough, yeah, they have more than, yeah.
I think the Environmental Commission understands that that's a possibility, and so they've built in management into the whole program.
No, a lot of planning went into ours.
Yeah, very conscious.
Yeah.
I think if
They
management,
got some.
much like the farmer's market, if management were ever to fail, I think it would fall apart. Right. It's-
Well, and then we just decommission it and
Yeah,
turn it into
exactly.
something else,
Bridge
you know?
Farm, the big market,
It turns back into a field.
Martin, your swimming pool.
I don't know, does anybody know when the farmer's market opens?
May 2nd.
May? I say March sounds a little early.
Okay, thank you, Terry.
Mhm.
We don't have a town manager's report. Do we?
No.
Town
Let's-
manager?
I need to know something though.
Yes.
The thing was, that the post office and Dunkin' Donuts are pulled out. And then on Facebook, you see,
They're not.
okay, but it was someone that's on the commission, I think, that even.
I thought that.
Yeah.
Riley made some phone calls to different people, and Dunkin' Donuts is waiting for the road to be finished before they start. And the post office, they got to work out their contract.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, they have a new owner of that building. Somebody bought that building from
Mhm.
Easter days.
Right.
So now they're working out the different agreements. Raleigh got a hold of Cammie Huffman. She's over all the post offices
Okay.
in Washington County. And she said, absolutely not, they have not backed out. That's just
Okay,
a
good.
false rumor.
Good to know.
And they know the person that's doing it out of this post office down here starting that crap.
Okay.
So,
And Hines owns their lot, so. Right.
Hey, well, that's.
That's their.
On them to do whatever they want.
There was digging being done the other day across from the post office. I don't know what's going in on that side, but they were digging.
Graves.
Mhm.
Graves. You never know. Okay, town manager's report.
All right, so recently, the new governor came out with his budget. We were not included. So Senator Porterman had us draft a supplemental budget request. And so we put something together. I'm pretty sure Senator Porterman packaged it with his other request, which was for, I think, merits, right? And so, and resubmitted it as a supplemental budget request. We were able to get 8 letters of support, one from Trone, another from the Board of County Commissioners, and then a few other community groups, the Legion, Fire Company, Ambulance Company, and some PTAs. So we've got a pretty strong ask, resubmitted at this point. The lobbyist, I think, is meeting this week, if he hasn't already met with the new Brinkley. Is that tomorrow?
No, Wednesday.
Okay. The new Secretary of Budget and Management, Helene Grady, he has a meeting with her, so everything is in the works there. And we'll just keep pushing it. The Easter Day, you recall you guys wanted me to work with, and Riley to work with the town attorney. So we're in the process of figuring out what it's going to take to pull the bond and to send a letter of default to the Easter days for lack of progress. So we're working on that. And then we had a meeting with Draper regarding the next stage of Fletcher's Grove. The process for moving forward on that. We have a pretty aggressive timeline where they would be beginning construction here in May or June. So, and we have a meeting on Wednesday with his engineers and with the county engineers to figure out a path forward. One of the hangups they have is the forest restoration requirement. And so we're trying to figure out a way forward for them, and so we can keep this thing moving forward. That's what's so important with this project and every other project we work on, is that it moves productively forward. So we're going to see what we can do on Wednesday. In the meantime, I put them in contact with Woodman Rec Board so that they can begin developing the water and sewer mitigation plan. And so hopefully we can keep moving forward on that. Other than that, that's about it.
Thank you, Paul. Anybody have any questions of Paul?
No, but I did think of two things I wanted to mention. At the water board meeting, the last one that we had, we may have a replacement for Austin and Wings. Jean Holloway from SRCAP. She may be coming on board as his replacement. As you know, Austin's out the end of the year. And the other thing I wanted to mention is that the Kings Road development, Stu Mullendor, Eric, and myself were going over that agreement along with the amendment. And we're trying to get that finalized, to have a list of questions for our attorney so that we can find out when that agreement actually ends. We're thinking that it's possible that it could be January of 2024. So there's a lot of other little things that we're working on in the background, so.
One of the interesting things that, every time we go back through these agreements, we're either looking for this or that. But one of the things I noticed is that the council approved a special taxing district to pay for Warrior Boulevard. So in the agreement we have, the amendment to the 2006 annexation agreement, Warrior Boulevard, at least King Road's portion of Warrior Boulevard, has already been approved to be paid for using special taxing district revenues.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, I think it is, but there's so many things, like I said, Eric's reviewing it, I'm reviewing it, Stu's reviewing it, we're hoping to meet on Friday to bring a list of questions to the town attorney so that we can get some clarity, because it just needs to be done. We need to know where we stand. Our whole allocation of water for our share of the water advisory board is tied up with King Road. We have all those taps that are held on that agreement. We have no other growth right now. So it has to be finished. So, and they've used their 102 that they bought with the second phase of Sycamore. So,
Pretty sure.
no, they have. Yeah, no, we know that for a fact. So I did want to mention those two things because they're important.
Tony, when you think about pulling us together, maybe we ought to have Paul there too, if he's available.
Sure.
Well, yeah, it'd be Friday afternoon, hopefully is what we're shooting for, so.
Yeah, I've got that thing all highlighted up.
I know, I do too, so do, so I was talking to them earlier.
It says the landowner may request that the town establish a special taxing district for the purpose of funding the design and construction of Warrior Boulevard.
May request.
Yeah.
Right.
I know Ruff asked about that.
Well, that's the landowner requesting it.
Yeah, that was Ruff.
Let me finish. Of Warrior Boulevard, said district to be comprised of the property excluding the proposed school site and may include lands of TT&K or such portion of those lands as may be determined by TT&K and the landowner to be so included. The town supports and encourages the creation of a special taxing district for the design and construction of the TT&K and King Road segments of Warrior Boulevard.
I don't think it was
It
ever
doesn't say
approved.
tax, yeah.
Hold on. The purpose of the special
Lovely.
taxing district shall be to fund the design and construction costs for King Road Associates segment of Warrior Boulevard and a portion of Warrior Boulevard which TT&K is required to construct with the terms of such special taxing district acceptable to the town in its reasonable discretion. It shall be the responsibility of the landowner to establish the terms and parameters of the special taxing district. And then it goes on to say, documents required in connection with the establishment of the proposed special taxing district shall be prepared and submitted by or on behalf of the landowner in cooperation with and subject to review and approval by the town, acting in good faith and in accordance with the objectives and purposes of this agreement. The town agrees to cooperate with the landowner in the expeditious introduction of the special taxing district ordinance. The landowner shall pay or reimburse the town upon request for the publication costs. But if they were to come to us,
I don't think it was
It's
ever
not that.
approved.
No,
Now, it says we would
It
cooperate.
says we would cooperate and we would
Right.
entertain it.
There's a lot of questions that we
We
have
never, I don't ever remember approving that to Chief Kim. I know.
I know it was discussed.
Ruff was talked about that numerous times in the
Yeah.
planning
Yeah.
commission. But it was, and he said he would make a proposal and write something up. That might have been what he had his attorneys write up. But we never approved that.
well, no,
That was in the
or
agreement.
Watts, this is part of,
I wrote that too.
this is part, no, you did right.
Yeah.
This is part of the signed amendment to the annexation agreement. So no, what I was saying just now is not that we've already agreed to it, but essentially we already have, because it says if they are to come to us and say, hey, we're ready to build Warrior Boulevard, you agreed in 2009 to the taxing district. There's not much of a leg that have to stand on.
But yeah, so you have to agree with the terms.
But I
Yeah.
agree to the
Yeah.
terms. I agree. I'm glad Mary Lee agrees. with
Yeah.
that.
But they weren't gonna, I think it ain't,
I don't
yeah,
think
it ain't gonna happen.
No.
They're-
That's how Brunswick's new development happened with the special taxing district. So that new development, those property owners pay a higher tax rate than the old
Whereas the
Brunswick.
old-
So that you don't kind of run your people, raising their taxes to fund the new development and run them out of their homes.
I think it's a great
I
idea.
mean, it's been done and it's something we would have to do our homework.
Yes.
Like I would start with asking Brunswick, how it worked, what it's like, not like, what I mean,
But
and
anyway,
getting some history.
we're,
But
we're trying
that's
to get,
about the only way.
we're
it's
trying to
gonna
get it
built.
clarified to the point where what the actual guide rails are for us in this last stage, because I think we're gonna be out of it soon, is what I'm hoping for. So.
Well, I think you're gonna find out.
Exactly.
Anyway, that's what we're working on. We don't need to be this anymore tonight.
Okay, that's, anything else, Paul? Any questions of Paul?
Just said this thing on Thursday with David Trone, that's not a luncheon, right? That's just
Right.
come hang out.
Well, there's no,
It's not.
So the finger sandwiches?
No, there is.
I'm just kidding.
Kim's
He's
getting,
hungry.
Kim's getting fingers in. Well,
Well, at least it's on a Thursday, what's left over, you don't have to worry
I
about.
hope you guys like
Let's
that.
order a new suit.
I hope you guys like melon balls
No.
and cheese and crackers.
Doing shots.
Just want to remind everybody, town hall will be closed next Monday, February 20th, for President's Day.
Come
I do, and what I'm gonna say is, and I won't hold you more than 15 minutes to discuss we need to go in an executive session to discuss the appointment, time, and promotion, discipline, demotion, compensation, removal, resignation, or performance evaluation of appointees, employees, or officials over whom this public body has jurisdiction, any other personnel matter that affects one or more specific individuals. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. I promise you it won't take very long.
I don't have to unload Casper.
Right.
Go on.
Thank you, Kim.